So you did hear from San Guido, and that is our first speaker you're going to hear from tonight. And actually, I'm not even going to read you the bio because this guy is so dynamic and so much fun that you will want to read the bio yourself. He is the co-founder of what went on, and you saw it, San Guido. He's also the chair of the board. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Dan Ohler.
What a great story about that lumber mill. That is so powerful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And this that you just saw up here, well, it kind of brings tears to my eyes every time I see it. It really touches. But you know, it's so good to be here in Christina Lake as I look out on the beauty and the wonder that you have here in this amazing weather. Now, where I come from in San Guido, our weather is a little bit different. About a week ago, I was driving to a community a couple hours north of us, and I just talked to Gordon about this event, and I was pondering on what I could share with you about mobilizing local investment capital and how that could work. It was a beautiful, clear, sunny morning, and the sun was just glistening on the last remnants of the winter snow, about 3 feet of it. But anyway, I turned on the radio, and the perfect song came on that just gave me some inspiration. 1, 2, 3, 4. Raise a little hell, raise a little hell, raise a little hell. Raise a little hell, raise a little hell, raise a little hell. If you don't like what you got, why don't you change it? If your world is all screwed up, rearrange it. Join me now. Raise a little hell, raise a little hell.
Raise a little hell.
Okay, let's just stop. Pretty easy to tell we're not members of that great Canadian band Trooper, but it would be a whole lot of fun to have a sing-along, wouldn't it? But you know, if you know the lyrics to that song, there are some really good points in regards to moving forward in your community, about mobilizing local capital, about doing some really good work in your community to help your local economy. Let's explore. So the song says, if you don't like what you got, why don't you change it? If your world is screwed up, rearrange it. If you don't like what you see, why don't you fight it? If you know there's something wrong, why don't you fight it? But this point is about being awake, about being consciously aware of what's going on in you and around you in your community. And yeah, it can be helpful to look at what's not working and what's not right. It also can be extremely powerful to identify and appreciate and celebrate the really good things that you've got going on in your community. And then to use that to build this great, big, powerful vision of what you want your community to be. And to keep it firmly imprinted in your mind and in your heart and in your guts, because that's where that fire from the belly comes from. So this point is all about the vision. The lyrics go on to say, in the end it comes down to your thinking, and there's really nobody to blame when you feel like your ship is sinking and you're too tired to play the game. This point is about you and I being personally accountable for the choices and the results that we get in our community, and focusing on doing the right things. Now, I think that you and I know what the right things are to do in our community, but doggone it, sometimes ego gets in the way. So this is about doing the right accountability and doing the right things. Now the song goes on to say, nobody's going to help you. You got to stand up and do it alone. So dig in your heels and see how it feels to raise a little hell on your own. Some of you are thinking, oh no, Dan, you're taking it too far now. This is not about doing it alone. No, we're a community, we want to work together. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, and the energy grows exponentially when you choose to work together. But if you look at any great project that ever has or ever will be done in your community, it always starts with one. It starts with a leader who's willing to step up and question the status quo and do something different. And one person shares it with two, two becomes four, four becomes 16, and the energy grows from there. It all starts with one spark. I mean, if you think about it, your car won't start until one spark plug fires. Your steak is just a steak tartare on the barbecue all night long unless the propane is ignited by one spark. An atom bomb is just 2 equal volumes of uranium that sit there and do diddly squat until one spark smacks them together. Well, maybe an atom bomb is not a good metaphor for community. But that's energy. So this point is all about competent leadership, being that spark. So we're going to look just at 3 things: the vision, accountability, and leadership. And the intent is that you leave here tonight with some ideas, some thoughts, some questions, maybe some renewed dedication and passion to your community. Now, I don't know the answers, but you do. So I'm going to leave you with some coach approach kinds of questions so you've got something to really think about as you leave. Now, a bit of a disclaimer, I don't live in your community, and you're probably glad I don't. Because I might push some hot buttons. I might just take you right off by something I say. Just know that everything I say is coming from experience and from a deep, deep place of love and a desire for you to really succeed in your community. So let's look at the vision first, the first point. Have you ever heard the expression, what you focus on, you attract? Yeah? Or maybe you've heard it as you sow, so shall you reap, or what you give, you get, or the secret, the law of attraction. Or if you go down to the coffee shop, it's maybe Bob's bullshit. Bob's bullshit be the back pen, Bob's idea. What you focus on, you attract. What it means is that we tend to attract to ourselves and we magnetize people and events and situations based upon what we focus on most intensively up here. And if you reflect on your life, you'll know that there's a lot of validity to it. And I don't know how it goes in Christina Lake. How many of you are from the Christina Lake area? Most of you? Yeah? Okay. Well, from wherever your community is, I don't know how it works there, but this is the kind of stuff that I hear in some of the communities where I work, especially when it comes to your economy. You want to start a business in Christina Lake? Are you crazy? Don't you know it takes at least 5 years for a business to even see the light of day, and you won't even make any money then? Are you crazy? You want to start a business in Christina Lake? Don't you know anything about Costco and Walmart and Canadian Tire and retail leakage? And nobody will support you because they always go there and they buy all of their stuff there. Crazy! You're going to start a tourism business in Christina Lake? Are you nuts? Can't you see we're saturated with tourism businesses? And only the wealthy people can afford to go out traveling anymore. It's tough times. And those wealthy people, you can't trust them. Those people from Calgary that come in the summertime, they don't invest anything in our community. And besides that, those wealthy people, you can't trust them. Well, they probably come to their money by some unscrupulous means. Drug dealers, the lot of them. Yeah, what you focus on, you attract. And yet when you can focus on and get together with some more people. I'm sorry, are you from Calgary?
But she did.
I'm sorry. I have some family that live in Calgary too. Tell that to your friends. What you focus on, you attract. When you get together with some other people in your community and you really identify and appreciate and focus on those really great things, you know, the abilities and the talents that you've got, the skills, the resources, unlimited resources, the potentials, the opportunities, the services that you've got. Man, when you think about that stuff, it's just amazing. So I need some help from you. What are some of those really great things in your community? Help me. What are some really great things in this area, in your community?
The lake.
Yeah, the lake. Amazing. What else? The weather.
4 seasons.
4 seasons. Yeah, where I live we have 3 seasons.
and a half.
Summer's gonna come on July 14th. Yeah, the weather, what else?
Great people.
Great people.
Bike trails.
Bike trails, what else?
Golfing.
Yeah, what else?
Topography.
Yeah.
Volunteers.
Oh man, that's a big one, the volunteers. What else?
Energy.
Energy.
The Albertans.
Yeah. You're right, because they come and dump a lot of cash here too, don't they? Yeah. Keep the roads going. What else is great about this community?
We have a wonderful lifestyle and reasonable prices to live.
Yeah, amazing. Why aren't more people moving here?
They're getting them.
Yeah. What else?
The school. The school.
School, yeah.
Yes. We have a great area director.
A great area director, yeah, lots of skills and abilities and talents. And when I really invite you to get together with a small group of people and do this.
Yes.
Talk about the great things that you've got in your community, brainstorm ideas, take notes, draw pictures, sing about it, dance about it, use all of the modalities that you've got to make this a really big, powerful vision. And then keep moving towards it. We had an experience like this in little old Sangudo, where we got together about 6 or 8 years ago, a small group of people. No, actually, it was quite a large group of people from across our community. And we brought in one of our local artists, and we taped up 6 or 8 big flip chart pages on the wall. And as we were having these discussions, she was drawing pictures of, nice clean streets and nice businesses and nice homes and flowers and trees and kids and adults and senior citizens working together, playing together. It was just amazing. And we bring that vision out, we bring that picture out quite regularly just to reflect on it. And it's amazing how things just fall in your lap when you're thinking that way. What you focus on, you attract. But doggone it, human nature doesn't like us to do that. Because there's a little part of your brain, there's a scientific reason, a little part of your brain, it's called the amygdala, that its function is called the adaptive unconscious, that just makes it easier to look at faults and failures and shortcomings and what's not right, rather than what is right. So it takes a little work, it takes a little effort to override that system. Take a breath and look at the good stuff, just like we did here. Did you notice how the energy built when we were talking about that? It's powerful. So I really invite you and encourage you and challenge you to phone up some of your friends. Get together and really create this big, powerful vision. Because what you choose to do today affects this community for centuries. Not just tomorrow, but for centuries. Your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandchildren. That's powerful. So my coach approach question for you in regards to vision. What are you going to do tomorrow to start on creating this community vision for you? Let's look at the second point. Personal accountability. The song says, in the end it comes down to your thinking, and there's really nobody to blame. Let's deal with this blame piece first, because you and I can't be personally accountable if there's any blame of self or of others. Now, it probably doesn't happen here in Christina Lake, but in my travels across Alberta and other places in Canada, well, it seems that there's a lot of blame that happens. And it makes sense. We, as a society, we've designed a lot of our systems about blame and fault. Our legal systems, our insurance systems, our health, our education, our political systems, a lot of them are around finding blame and fault. Somebody we can blame. And from experience, it seems that blame happens in 2 ways. One is very directive, the other one's a little bit more inquisitive. Now, you never hear anything like this, but it's kind of like, why aren't they doing something about that? Why aren't they? Somebody should be cleaning up that old building in that lot. Somebody should. Somebody should be fixing that street. Somebody should. And usually somebody is replaced with town council. Those business people over there. The government. And then there's a more inquisitive way that's a little softer because it's done as questions. Why aren't they attracting more entrepreneurs to our community? It's up to them. Why aren't they developing more lots for residences? It's up to them. Why aren't they cleaning up that garbage? It's up to them. Why aren't they? Why can't they? Oh, the best one I heard the other day in this little community. Why aren't they putting a stop to this lack of action? So instead of the blame game, which doesn't create anything great in your community, how can you and I become more personally accountable for the choices that we make in our businesses, in our families, in our communities, in our relationships? Because community is all about relationships. So how can we strengthen those? And maybe as business people, we need to start looking at our businesses a little differently. Because we're not in the business just to sell products and services. We need to get outside of ourselves and see how we can offer something to our customers, to our families, that offers them a higher quality of life. Quality of life. So that they have greater belonging, greater happiness, greater joy, greater contentment, greater quality of life. Now here's what I mean. Is there a hair shop in town, like a beautician or something like that? Okay. How about in the next community down the road? Yeah. Do you know what it's called?
Many lots.
Lots of them? Do you know one of them? Pam's beauty shop. She's not selling hair and nail design and spa treatments. No, she's offering self-esteem. You know, people come out of there looking good, smelling good, feeling good. That's self-esteem. That's quality of life. Is there an accountant in town? What's the name of it? What's your business name?
Kemp Harvey Birch Teams.
Yeah, and you're not selling tax and accounting services. You're offering peace of mind, relief. That's quality of life.
That's why he's on our venture capital committee.
Yeah, perfect spot for it. Have you got a fitness place or a gym or something like that? What's it called? Kareem's?
Yeah.
Call the gym.
Gym. But the little gym, they're not selling fitness and weight loss. They're offering long-term health and vitality. So how can we get out of ourselves and start looking at what we can offer to our community and get our people, our customers, our employees all engaged so they want to really participate in our community and take ownership for it? Because that's the key. And if you can get ownership, it's a game changer. And maybe we need to look at how we structure our businesses differently, or how we work together, like with your VCC thing, how you can work together in a different way. Now, if you were here this afternoon and you saw Chris's slide, he had a picture of kind of a continuum of different business structures. Well, if you could look at that structure, on one end of the scale, there's your typical corporate business model, where the real goal, the real drive is profit for shareholders, and it works totally fine, it works great. The push is all for profit. On the other end of the scale, it's more the social. So this is the non-profit societies and social enterprises, where the real goal is to provide people with products and services for social good, that they can get it for free or at a small fee. And that works totally fine as well. But there are big challenges on either end of the spectrum, because neither one of them look at the whole big balanced blended return. On this end of the scale, if there's so much of a drive for the social good, and normally these businesses are funded by charities and government grants and things like that, and if there's a change to that, it really hurts the business. We've got businesses in little old Sangudo that were largely dependent on government grants. Well, when the government grant just stopped, that was it. Man, it really hurt. It's hard to move forward. On the other end of the scale, with the corporate business model, if the drive is all for profit, and without any thought for quality of life, that hurts too. I've been doing some communication training and coaching with a department of a really large organization, petrochemical company. Well, a couple of years ago, the big company set a goal to generate $3.2 billion in profit, and they did it. But it meant there was layoffs, right-sizing, downsizing, all of that stuff. They cut out a whole bunch of employee benefit programs and didn't replace and repair equipment as it should. Man, reportable accidents went way up, team morale dropped, wasn't very good. And in between, is this big gray area, where on this end of the scale we've got corporations and we're taking on these corporate social responsibility programs, some of them just lip service, some of them really embracing it, and that works really well because it's about quality of life. On the other end of the scale, there's social enterprises that are generating significant income for stability. But in this area in the middle is a really cool spot where we can all play. This is the area for co-ops and credit unions, opportunity development co-ops, where you as community people can take ownership for your community, for your own local economy. You can invest, all of you can invest a little bit of your own money into something like one of these opportunity development co-ops, where you share the risk and share the reward. Everybody does well. And the more that we spread this idea in our communities where people, well, it becomes a bit of a habit where people want to support their own community because they're invested in it. Their families, their friends, they invite people because they want it to survive and to do well. It's a cool spot to be in, and with your VCC, you've got a great spot to work, and if one of these opportunity development co-ops can work for you, that would be great too. So what are you going to do? My question for you then, this all comes down to accountability, ownership of your community. What specifically are you going to do to take greater ownership for your community? And the last point I'm going to chat about is leadership. Now, if you were to go home and Google leadership, you'd probably still be sitting there 63 years from now, reading about leadership, lots of stuff on leadership, but a really succinct way, motivational speaker Jim Rohn said that leadership is the challenge to become more than average. Leadership. And if you look around your community, in fact, I bet that you have on the tip of your tongue the name of one or two or three leaders in your community that have been real sparks to do something. Well, I invite you over the next 24 or 48 hours to go to those people. Pat them on the back, shake their hand, give them a hug. Thank them, appreciate them for the work that they're doing because it's so powerful. And these leaders, they're an interesting group of people, usually quite humble. If you go to any one of those people on the tip of your tongue, and if you ask them a question, are you a leader? Most of them would say, no, I just did what needed to be done. These are the people that will get an idea. They're the ones who will question the status quo, and they'll question this whole idea of sustainability. I mean, sustainability sucks. Who wants sustainability? I mean, look at the definition. It's an ability to sustain, to endure, to suffer. Who wants that? I think you want growth and vibrancy, right? So how do we encourage and get these leaders really doing things? And the cool thing is if you're dealing with one of these venture capital corps or an opportunity development co-op or a CETA from Nova Scotia, these people are doing it as volunteers. That's amazing. It's one of you mentioned that. It's one of the hugest resources that you have in your community. I bet there are hundreds of thousands of hours of volunteer time go right in your community. This is a way to capitalize on that, not only on the money, but on people's time. It's a powerful spot. Now, these leaders are the people who, they can get people following towards the vision, in alignment with the vision. Now, in your community, I bet there are people who resist change. Yeah, you got them on the tip of your tongue too, don't you? You got this big bright vision, but doggone it, there's some going this way and some going that way. How do we get those people to become, well, they can become your best supporters, great volunteers even. But it takes a little time from a leader to get together with those people and to really validate and appreciate them, to just sit down with them with a cup of coffee or 2 or 3 or 10 and ask them what's really important to them. What do they really value? What do they really care about in the community? And always you can find something that's common so that you can both move toward in direction of your vision. Alignment. Leaders are really good at gaining and building trust and getting people into alignment. And through those discussions with some of those people, you may come up with ideas that are way better than any of you thought possible in the first place. That's innovation. Leaders. Now leaders, well, they're oftentimes a little bit of a loner too. They don't tend to ask for help very often. So for you, be aware of these leaders in your community and be there to watch them and to get on board with them, support them, get some more people to help along. And pretty soon you get what a guy by the name of Malcolm Gladwell calls a tipping point, where you've got a critical mass of people that drive a project forward. That's what you need to make something happen. It doesn't have to be a big group, but 8, 10, 15 people. Leadership. So I'm going to leave you with one question in regards to leadership. What are you going to do today to step up to the plate and use your own leadership skills? So we've talked about just 3 things: the vision, personal accountability, and leadership. I can say that these 3 things are totally what we're responsible for, what we've done in Sangudo, what the folks in Crow's Nest Pass have done, what the folks in Falher have done, what most of the communities in Nova Scotia are using these CDIFs have done. So how can you apply those? We've just barely scratched the surface tonight. Each one of those could be at least a full day workshop. Want to come to those? Yeah, it'd be fun, wouldn't it? But since we've just barely scratched the surface, any questions on any of those things? Vision, leadership, accountability, before I wrap up? Please.
How many people that have turned out, this is a good sized group for Christina Lake, how many retailers here? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, because I've had a business in trail for 26 years, and what you hit on before, as being a border town, that is a curse to all of us who live on the border. It's so easy to go south, as you said before, but the worst case scenario is the workforce that we have. It's called 4 and 4, 4 days on and 4 days off. And they do not come into our community. And it's really taken this. Well, we've lost so many businesses now in trail. They're turning them into offices and dentals. It's ridiculous. And we have to stop that somehow. But our councils are very weak, and there's so much fighting going on, it's ridiculous. But I like what this lady has come up with, and I know her quite well. I was on council. Anyhow, opening up a wood place like that is great, but we're missing out what they did in California. No more plastic, all glass. Get rid of all that. Your dumps and everything else. They don't create anything for you. What we have to do is get back to making wood like that. Why can't we, i.e., make doors? Why can't we make glass bottles? These are industries we don't have. And these are the industries we should be looking for. We don't need another pizza parlor, but we have to look at what we don't have. And 26 years ago, I became Trail's first trophy shop. Nobody looked at it.
Why can't we? It's a perfect question. Why can't we in our community? Doggone it, we can. And why not? There's no reason. We can do whatever we want. Sure, these sorts of things, the retail leakage happens, but there are ways to make some changes. But it gets people thinking about it. Thanks for that. Anything else before I wrap up? Okay, I'm going to leave you with those. I'm going to repeat those 3 questions again. And then I'm going to leave you with a quote from somebody that you probably all recognize. So the first question in regards to vision. What are you going to do tomorrow to start on creating a big, powerful vision for your community? Or enhancing, if you already have it. In regards to accountability, what are you going to do now to take greater ownership for your community? And the third thing in regards to leadership, when specifically are you going to step up to the plate and apply some of your leadership skills? It's a game that we're playing. It's just a big game that we're playing. And so let's make it fun too. So in closing, I'm going to leave you with a quotation by a gentleman who made a really great saying in regards to this game of business and this game of life. Warren Buffett. Any of you know who Warren Buffett is? One of the richest men on this planet. Chairman of Berkshire Hathaway. He said this about this game. He said, games are won by the players who focus on the playing field. not by those who have their eyes glued to the scoreboard. So keep raising a little hell in your community, keep playing this game of life, and make this place the best place on this planet to live and work and play. Have fun.
I told you when I read the bio when he was finished. Big round of applause. We've enjoyed it down all day, as well as the other 5 speakers here. So just as an interlude, please know the sponsors of this are, of course, Regional District, that's you, all of you, SIBAC, Southern Interior Beetle Action Coalition, and the Columbia Basin Trust. And no comments about that, people. So they came together, and I thank Gordon Marston, who's sitting right back there, Gordon, as part of SIBAC that's helped Sandy Mark put this together. So big round of applause for them also.